Hey, I'm Futch, Ableton Certified Trainer, Music Production Coach. In this series of videos, I'm just going to walk you through your first hour or so in Ableton Live. I'm not really going to explain anything, I'm just going to show you what I'm doing, not explain the concepts, and I want you to just follow along and copy me, okay? So when you first open up Ableton Live, it's going to look like this. Might look like this for you. So it's gonna be showing this help view. You can show and hide it going to views, help view, or you can just click the little X. And the help view is great. It's got lots of these lessons you can do, so you can click each one of these and follow along. Amazing. But we're not going to use that right now. I'm just going to do things, and I want you to copy me. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the way this looks. So you can go to preferences, or you can just hit command comma and it'll bring up preferences, and or control comma on a PC. So we want to go to look and feel, which is the top tab in preferences, and I'm going to go and change this from mid light to dark. And that's the theme I like to use. Easier on the eyes, looks cool. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just select all of these tracks, not all of them. I'm going to select the last three. Just going to hit delete. We're just going to do our own thing here. I'm going to delete these two, reverb and delay. Delete those. So all you'll have left is one MIDI track and one master track. You can never have no tracks here, so you have to leave at least one, and then your master is the output of Ableton Live. So, okay, first thing we're going to do is I'm going to go over to this section, and I'm going to go full screen here by clicking the green, and I'm going to go over to this section, categories, and I'm going to go to drums. So we're just going to make a simple drum beat. So you can use any of these kits here, and just make sure that the blue headphone is turned on. That'll allow you to preview the drum kits before you do anything with them. And you can just hit the down or up arrow keys. And then pick whichever one you want to use. We're going to use that one, Atom Kit. Drag that over here onto the MIDI track, or we can even drag it out here and it'll just create its own track. Let's do that. So I'm just holding and dragging and creating a new track. Let's hit delete. I'll try that again. I'll go to my Atom Kit, hold, click, drag, release. Okay, now I can get rid of this MIDI track by highlighting it and hitting delete. So there's my Atom Kit. And now if I here I just want to show you two different quick things here. Hit the tab key. It goes between the two views. We're going to be spending most of our time in this view today. It's called session view. Doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Okay. Shift tab will show you that bottom device and clip view. And because we don't have any clips, that's what these are right here. Nothing appears here. So I'm just going to hit, again, tab to go between these two. And we want this one, the vertical looking one. And shift tab goes between those two, device and clip. So I'm just going to double click here and that'll create a clip. And now we've got something in clip view. Again, shift tab, tab. So we want vertical, session view, and shift tab, clip view. You can drag this up and make it a little bigger so you can see what you're doing. Right there, you just have to hold your mouse in this section here, or your trackpad. Okay, so I'm just gonna go scroll down and see where the kick drum is. So again, we want the blue headphone just like we had over here. We're gonna turn this blue headphone on right here. So you can see it's grayed out right now. If I turn it on, it's blue. And that will allow us to hear what we're doing here. If that's off, you can't preview. So it's pretty key for what we're doing. We want to hear what's going on. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go to my kick drum, and you can see this is bar 1, beat 1. We can right click, brings up the context menu, and you can show what the grid lines are going to represent. So if I want to go really basic, I can go quarter notes, and now each of these sections are going to show 1/4 note, and if I double click and put in a note, it's going to put in a full quarter note. So let's do something really simple here. I'm going to go kick, skip one, kick, then I'm going to snare. Let's put that one in. Let's put that one in number 2, and this one in number 4. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Sorry. And you can see that our length of our clip of our loop is 1 bar. So we can make this 2 bars. I'll type in 2, enter, and now we've got a longer section. Let's just go back to 1. There's our 1 bar loop, and let's just play it by clicking the clip up here, the play button on the clip. Triangle. Oh yeah, look at us making beats in Ableton. All right, so Ableton Live, sorry. Ableton's the company, Live's the product. All right, I'm gonna go right click again. Gonna go into 16th notes, and that'll allow us to get a little more separation between our quarter notes. So I can go like this, for example. I'm just going to do this. It's going to be stupid, but just so you can see what it sounds like. And then I'm going to click and drag, duplicate, Command D. Let's see what that sounds like. It's going to be stupid. Not as stupid as I thought. All right. So let's just do all that again. So I'm just going to go, I'm going to, what's easiest for you? Shift Command T to bring up a new blank MIDI track. Just do all this again. Delete. So now I've just got a blank MIDI track and my master. I'm going to go to the drums on categories. I'm going to check out these different drum sounds. Make sure that the blue headphones on. Okay, let's try the 707 core kit this time. I'm going to drag it over either here and drop it to create a new track, or I can just drop it on this MIDI track. Cool. And now you can see it showing the device on the bottom, which is how it's going to sound. And if we hit Shift Tab, it's going to show us the clip view, which allows us to enter notes. Okay, so I'm just going to double click on the clip. It creates a new clip. I'm going to drag this up so I can see what's going on. Kick drum or bass drum is always at the bottom. You can see we're divided into 16th notes. So this is 1/4 note, this dark section. The light section's the 2nd quarter note, beat 2. So bar 1, beat 2. Bar 1, beat 1, you can't really see it. Bar 1, beat 3. Bar 1, beat 4. So bars and beats. Bars are, beats are basically the how you count. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 beats. 4 beats with quarter notes, which is usually what we're dealing with, makes up 1 bar. So if we do this, turn on our click track up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 beats, that equals 1 bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and you can see down here the length of our clip is 1 bar. And you can hear how the click track highlights beat 1 with the accent. Tick, tock, 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 tick, tock, tock, tock. The tick is beat 1. Okay, so that's 1 bar. So let's see what we're going to do in our 1 bar. We're going to put in a kick drum. We're going to put in a snare drum on 2. So I'm just double clicking to put those in there. You can also press the B key, and then you've got a pencil tool, and you can just click once. I like to not use the B key and double click, and then I can do other things. It's up to you. I'm going to put in a kick on bar 1, beat 3. So we've got a kick on bar 1, beat 1, snare drum on bar 1, beat 2, and a kick drum on bar 1, beat 3. And I'm going to put a rim shot on bar 1, beat 4. Now if I play that, it sounds like this. Take out the click track. Okay, let's add some hi-hats so I can go, and because my blue highlight, my blue headphones on, I can hear my hi-hats. So you can see it says closed hi-hat. Okay, so I'm going to do this. So that's going on the 3rd 16th note of each beat. So this is the first 16th note of each beat being this dark section here. Beat 2, beat 3, beat 4. So this is the 3rd 16th note. If I put it here, it would sound at the same time as my kick drum. Let's do that with all these. It sounds pretty robotic. So if I move them all back to the 3rd 16th note, you get a little bit of groove going on. So watch this. I'm just going to click, drag, and lasso all 3 of them, and then drag them over to the 3rd one, all of them at the same time. Look at that power move. Okay, so again, I'm going to click, drag down, lasso all of them. You can see they're highlighted now. These ones aren't. I'm going to drag them over. I can put them on the 2nd 16th note. Stupid. Let's drag them to the 3rd one. My milkshake brings all the boys to the Sorry. Okay, so now I'm going to go and find an open hi-hat. And I'm going to put it on the 3rd 16th of bar 1, beat 4. Let's see what that sounds like. Cool. So that open hi-hat's pretty loud. So I'm just going to go down here. You can see there's a little velocity thing. Velocity means volume in the world of Midi. What we're doing here is messing around with Midi. I'm not going to get into what that means right now. Basically, it allows us to enter in note information for our drum machine here, and it's not audio yet. The drum shift tab. The drum machine here turns it into audio. It turns it from MIDI information, digital information, instructions basically, into audio, and then our audio flows out through our master section here, you can see. Okay, we're not going to get into that. Who cares? Okay, so this is too loud, is my problem. Whoops, now it's gone. So I'm just going to go and drag the velocity down on that one. You can hear it preview. So let's try that. I'm hitting spacebar to play. That's better. Cool. Okay, so I want to make this beat a little longer. 1 bar is not cutting it anymore. So we're going to go here to the length, and we're going to just type in 2, enter. So now we have 2 bars. Beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4, beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4, 2 bars. So if I play it now, it's going to play this section and then go blank for the last bar. Okay, I should point out that this is, the clip is looping right now. I guess that's going to be the default. You want it to do that, so it just keeps playing over and over again. Okay, so I could just manually fill this stuff in again. I can put another kick there and another kick here. I can just copy what I'm doing over here. do all that stuff again, or highlighting, hitting delete, or I can copy this whole section over. So remember before when we did this, I did click, hold down, make a lasso, and then Command D will duplicate that. Command Z will undo. So before I was grabbing it and shifting it around. I can even go to different notes, do whatever I want with it. What's in highlighted? Highlighted it. Highlighted it. But what I want to do now is I want to duplicate this whole section. So that's going to be from bar 1 to the end of, from beat 1 to the end of beat 4. That's this whole 1 bar section here. So that's from the beginning of this dark section to the end of this light section, but not this dark section. So I'm going to go to the highest note at the end of that dark section, make sure I'm right here. I have to be in this side after this line, basically. So I'm just going to click, drag, and grab this whole group of notes all the way to the end. Now they're all selected. I let go, and now I'm going to go Command D, or on PC it'd be a Control D. There we go. And I just duplicated it. Command Z, Command D for duplicate. So now if I play, it's just going to play the exact same thing. Oops. Okay, so let's say I don't want the open hat to come in until the end of bar 2, and I'm just gonna make this a closed hat, just like the other ones. Now it sounds like this. See, the velocity's too low. I'm just gonna bring it up to match the other ones. There we go. So these are the notes. This is the volume level or velocity. Just going to drag this back down. We don't need to look at that anymore. All right, let's do it all again. No. All right. Shift Command T brings up a new MIDI track. Highlight, delete, and I'm going to go over to my categories. I'm going to go to drums. Select a kit, make sure your blue headphones on. Oh yeah, let's use that. Drag that over here, creates a new track, get rid of my old track. There's my device, this is my session view, there's my range, we're not doing any, oh sorry, that's my range, we're not doing anything there. And then Shift Tab will bring up the clip view. Tab, Session, Arrangement, and then Shift Tab, clip and device. So we don't have any clips. Let's make one by double clicking in that area. And now again, our kick drum is going to be at the bottom. Make sure that's on. Kick, kick, snare, snare. I don't like this kit. I'm going to change it. I'm going to just go over to some, yeah, I'm just going to drag that over here. And now it's going to keep my information, but it's changed the sound. There we go. Let's do that instead. Actually, just put both in there. Cool. How about this? Let's put that on the 3rd 16th again of each one. So I can either do it on all 4, or remember our copy duplicate move. I'm just gonna, I want the whole dark section here, which is 1 beat, copied over to the light section. So I'm just gonna click somewhere in this area, drag all the way over here, and you can see up there, that's the light blue section that's gonna get copied now. So I'll do that again. We want to make sure that it goes all the way across that dark section, the one beat. And then I can go Command D to duplicate. I can even do it again and again. Cool. All right, let's do that whole procedure again. So I'm going to put in my hi-hat on the 3rd 16th, and then click, drag, make sure you got the whole beat, Command D, Command D, Command D. And let's make this 2 bars, 2, enter, and I'm going to duplicate the whole thing. So the whole light section, everything down to the bottom. You can see this is spanning across one whole bar. I go Command D to duplicate it into the next bar. There we go. Let's put our open hi-hat on the last one. Let's bring our velocity down. Let's bring the velocity of all of our hi-hats down, our close hats. I'm just going to highlight them all. Now you can see the velocities are all highlighted. And bring all those down. Cool. All right. Now let's add a bass line. So I'm going to go to Instruments. I'm going to go to Operator. And if I click the triangle on Operator, it's going to show me some presets. And I want to do some bass, so I can go to the bass presets. So I'm going to open that up. And the same thing if I've got the blue headphone. I'll be able to hear what these bass presets sound like. I would use that one, but I don't know if that's too difficult to hear. I'm going for it. Okay, I'm going to drag that over, and now there's our device. Nothing in the clip view because we have no clip. So I'm going to, that's Shift Tab by the way. I'm going to double click to create a clip. Cool. And now same thing, we've got the blue headphone to preview. Got our keyboard, and that's pretty high, so I'm just going to scroll down. I'm using my 2 fingers on my trackpad to scroll down. So our levels are getting pretty hot over here, which they tend to do. So I'm going to show you this, and I would say don't worry. You know what? We'll do this the easy way. I'll just bring these down. No, I don't want to get too advanced. So I'm just going to bring the levels down to about -10 on the drums and our bass. Later on, I'll show you a better way to do this, but for now, let's just do this fast. Okay, so that's our volume level. Now you can see over here, it'll be not as loud as it was. A little better. Okay, so let's hear our drum beat. Something like that. So I can just click it in like I did with the drums. So I think that would be 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1. Maybe like that. I'm just going to guess that that's something like what I was playing there. Let's see what that sounds like. Not even close. Okay, I like that. So I played both by clicking the triangles up here. You can also just click the whole scene. This is called the scene. You just play them both by clicking the triangle on the master section. Now our clip went away because it's focused on the master output. So I'm going to go click over here, and now it's focused on my bass. If I click over here, it's focused on my drum machine. Okay. Cool, so I want to make that a bigger loop. So same thing, it's a 1 bar loop right here. Beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4. So I'm going to make that 2 bar loop. Click, 2, return. And same thing as the drum machine. I'm just going to click here, grab all those notes, make sure it's perfect. 1 bar section. Command D to duplicate. And I'm going to move those notes down by clicking the down arrow key. Let's try that. Down or up arrow key will change which notes they're playing, as long as they're highlighted. If you lose that, you can just highlight them again. So there's where they were in the first bar. I'm going to move them down a couple semitones, few semitones, see how it sounds. So I'm going to guess that that won't sound good. Let's see. Oh, it's not bad. Yeah, okay. Let's try it down one more. It's all right. To be honest, I kind of like that one. No, this one's better. This might be difficult for you to hear, so I'm going to go select all, Command A, and I'm going to go Shift up arrow, and that'll bring it all up an octave. Might be easier for you to hear. Down arrow again. So yeah, I like this. It's sadly the best thing I've ever written. Okay, so yeah, I think that's good. I don't want to get too complicated here. Okay, so let's just do all of that again. No, we were finally getting somewhere. No. Okay. I'm going to do it a little faster than before, so Shift Command T to bring up a random Midi track because there can't be no tracks. Highlight my work, delete, it's all gone, there's nothing there. Okay, so first things first, let's go to our drums. Let's try that 909 core kit this time. I'm going to drag that over. No clips. Double click to create a clip. Kick drum, bass drum. Let's put them on all 4 this time. Let's get a housey thing going. Okay, let's go clap on 2. Closed hat. Remember, this has got to be blue. That's got to be blue for preview over there. So, closed hat. I mean, you know where we're putting these closed hats. The 3rd 16th note of each beat. Okay, let's make our loop longer. 2, enter. Grab everything. Click, drag. Command D. Okay, let's move our last closed hat up to an open hat. Let's do it with the up arrow keys this time. Up arrow, up arrow, up arrow. One more. And let's bring the velocity down. Let's bring the velocity down on all the closed hats. Cool. Let's bring our volume down on our track, on our drum machine track. There we go, that's better. Let's go to our instruments, and we're going to go to operator for our bass line. Open up the bass presets, find a bass we like. Let's use that one this time. Drag it over and it'll just automatically create a new track. Just drag it into that section. Okay, so there's our device. Shift tab, there's our clip. Double click, oops, drag that up there. And now, okay, scroll down, 2 fingers on my trackpad. Bring down my volume, that's pretty loud. Okay, let's try that. Let's just try randomly putting in a couple of C1 notes. That's the octave 1. Note C. So there's C sharp 1 above it. So I'm going to go C1. I'm going to just double click in some random notes and see what that sounds like. So I can either click this clip to get going, or I can click my master scene to get both those clips playing in sync. Go back to the bass line. So again, there's my drum machine, bass line, master. Again, I just cannot write a terrible bass line today. This is another anthem I just accidentally wrote. Unbelievable. Okay, let's change this one with the up arrow to try this. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Cool, let's make it longer. So we're gonna go length to enter. I'm gonna click, make sure you're grabbing a whole bar, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna click, drag, Command D. Okay, I'm just gonna manually drag this up. Yeah. Okay, try this. That was better where it was. Cool. Okay, so you can see the notes we're using here, C, D, and E. So I'm going to go to the Wavetable synth. I'm going to go to Instruments, and then Wavetable. And I'm just going to not even pick a preset, I'll just drag it over and it'll just create a stock wavetable. That's this. So in this one, I'm going to, there's our clip view, device view, double click, make a clip, and C, the note C should sound pretty good with this, and D, and E. Those should all sound decent with that bass line. I'm going to scroll down, go to the second octave. Okay, so let's just play it and see what that sounds like. And I'm going to go up hard. So just bring the volume down. So on the second beat, I'm going to put in a C note. See what that sounds like. That might be dumb. Oh yeah, that's dumb. The more I hear it, the more I like it. Too clashy. Yeah, that's better. So we have C and E. See, this one sounded a little dissonant. That one sounds better. Okay, so let's go to the device. I'm going to click Shift Tab. And there's our wavetable. And it's just playing this basic shape right now. So I'm going to make it a little more interesting by scrolling through the wavetable types. Cool. We can even filter out some of the top end by either dragging the frequency or the little one here. Less treble, less top end on it. So let's say we like that. Okay, so let's get some effects going, some delay. Actually, let's just do that whole wavetable thing again. Click, delete. Okay, so I'm gonna leave the bass line and the drums. We know we're pretty good with that, right? So I'm gonna go to Wavetable. I'm just gonna drag it over, and I'm going to go Shift Tab, create a new clip. I'm gonna go to, I think it was C octave 2 that I liked. No, it was 3. I'm gonna put that on beat 2, and let's hear what that sounds like. Bring the volume down. And then D was the note that we like. E. So we have a little chord, a little mini chord. Shift Tab to take a look over here. I'm going to move the position of the wavetable. Don't worry about all that yet. With this little square at the bottom, just move up into a more jagged wave type. It's a little brighter sound. Mellow, bright and buzzy. And I'm going to take off some of that treble edge. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to add some delay, some effects. Delay. So I'm going to go right click and go insert return track. You could also go, what is it, Option Command T. Or on, what would that be on PC? Alt Control T. Okay, so now this is just a blank return track. That's where our delay is going to go. So I'm going to go and find a delay. So I'm going to go to Audio Effects. So this is just under where our instruments were. Go to Audio Effects. These are the Ableton Live audio effects. I'm going to look for a delay. There it is, delay and loop. Click the triangle. There's delay right there. We can use echo. Let's use echo. Echo's pretty cool. I'm just going to drag that over, right over to the return track and let it go. Echo's got a little visual thing on it, which is kind of cool. So now nothing's going to go to our delay unless we send to it. So let's take a look at what happened here. Look right here. There's a little thing that says send A. If I delete this, it goes away. So that send is going to send to our delay on that return. So let's go Option Command T, or I can right click and go insert return track. And then on that return, I'm just going to go and drag an echo. So now our send is there again. As soon as you make a return, you've got a send. And now I can send either my drums there, my bass there, or my wavetable synth. Let's do the wavetable synth because that was what I was going to do. It's a little quiet because it's still passing some of the dry, unaffected signal. So I'm going to turn this all the way up to 100% wet, and that should be better. Let's try that. And if I turn up the feedback, it'll just go on forever. Like 52, and you can change the delay speed, the delay time here. Let's leave it on 1/8 note. Dotted. So it's going to be similar to when we look at note is going to be similar to grid, our MIDI grid here. If I click on my clip, I can see the MIDI we've got for each section. So just like these are now divided into 16th notes, so 1, 2, 3, 4 per beat, we can change that to, say it's on 1/16 right now. I just right clicked to show that. If I go to 1/8 note, now we've only got 2 per beat. And that's the division that our echo is set up to repeat in. If I change this to 16ths, and I take off the dotted, just put it on notes. So now, if I go back here, I'll put this back into 16ths. And now this same division, 1, 2, 3, 4 per beat, or 16 per bar, that's why it's called 16th note, is going to be the same as the delay time. Let's see what that sounds like. Let's put it to 8 notes. Easier to hear. Let's put it to quarter notes. Now it's delaying every quarter note. So if we go back here, you can hear the delay go 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. So it's perfectly in time with our track. By the way, if you don't like the tempo, you can change everything up here. So tempo is how fast everything's playing. We're at 120, which is the sort of stock de facto tempo that you get. Let's change this to 130. Enter, and it'll be a little faster. Or I could just click and drag it down. There's 94. I can enter 120, and it'll go back to our original 120 tempo. That's our click track right there. You can turn it on and off. And that's our tempo. Click 1, 2, 0, enter, and back to 120. Alright, so we've got a delay on our wavetable. I'm going to go and change it back to something a little more interesting. 16th, actually 8th note dotted is what I prefer. I can even unlink these and have them do both left and right, do different delay times. Too advanced, folks, too advanced. Okay, let's do that all again. So delete the echo. We'll leave the wavetable, should we? Let's do the whole thing. Let's delete the whole thing. Let's do it. Let's do it. Shift Command T to bring up a random MIDI track. Let's do everything again. So we're going to go to Instruments. Sorry, we're going to go to Drums. We're going to pick a drum sound. Make sure the blue headphone's on. Let's use the C78 core kit this time. Drag it over. Shift Tab to bring up your clips. We have no clips. Double click to make a clip. Bring this up so you can see what we're doing. Make sure your blue headphones on to preview. Bass, rim shot, snare, closed hat, no open hat, whatever. So I'm just going to go bar 1, beat 1. Looks like we're in 16th notes for our divisions. Again, you can change that. Right click to bring up the context menu. You can change it to quarter notes, 8th notes, 16th notes. Let's go to 32nd notes. Now there'll be 8 per quarter note or 32 per bar. But we're going to go back to 16ths. That's pretty normal. 16ths and 8ths. I guess 16ths is probably the most used for divisions. Okay, so bass drum, double click, go to beat 3, double click, snare drum, actually cowbell. Ooh. Let's put snare first. So on the bar 1 beat 2, put a snare. Bar 1 beat 4, we put a snare. Let's see what that sounds like. Oops. Okay. Closed hat, you know where we put these. Let's bring the velocity down of those. Whoops, did I grab the wrong one? I did. Do it all again. Oh, actually, there's a quicker way to do that too. You just click here, and it'll grab everything on that row, all the closed hats. So let's just do that again. I can click here, it highlights all of them, and I can just drag the velocity for one of them down, and that brings them all down. Okay. Let's put in, should we put in a gyro? I like it. Let's change it to 2 bars, enter, highlight, click, drag, highlight, command D. Let's put in another gyro here. There. Oh. Oh, it won't play it when there's a closed hat. That's crazy. Try that. I like it. Let's make this a 4-bar loop. Enter 4. Return. Highlight it all. Make sure it's completely 2 bars. Command D. Now we've got a 4-bar loop. We've never done that before. Okay, we need something special at the end of the loop, maybe a cymbal. Probably there. Yeah. Let's put in some clave too. Where should I put it? Let's put it there. Let's try that. Ready for this move? All right. Let's bring the volume down. Just see over here when it starts to get too loud, just bring the volume down. Okay, so we're gonna go to instruments. All right, so let's just go to instruments, and we're gonna add our bass line again. So we'll go to operator, bass, find a preset, make sure your blue headphones on. I like that one, detune something. Click and drag it over, and shift tab means we've got no clip. So let's double click to create a clip. Okay, and I'm going to scroll down. Oh, I know it's going to be loud, so I'll just bring it down. I'll just play the beat. I think I've used that before. I like that. It's so simple. I'm a simple soldier. Okay, so I'm gonna hammer in some notes here. I'm just gonna double click on the F1, F note octave 1. I'm just gonna double click, and I know I like the F to the E, so I'll just put something in there, maybe like that. Let's see what that sounds like. I'll click the scene up here. Okay, that's done. I'm going to bring that down an octave by hitting Shift down arrow. See what that's like. Yeah, okay, I don't hate that, surprisingly. Okay, so there's our beat and our bass line. So we're playing a lot of F notes. That means that's going to work probably for the most part with our wavetable. All right, so let's go to our instruments and we'll go to wavetable. Just drag it over, create a blank one, double click to create a clip, and it was a F note we were using, so let's just put that in there and see what that sounds like. Let's try it. And this? No. That's good. I'm going to bring it down an octave, highlight them, and bring them down with the Shift down arrow key. Let's try that. Yeah, that's better. I'm going to go Shift Tab to show my wavetable. I'm just going to make it a little buzzier. Too buzzy, so I'll bring down the frequency. And it's too loud, so I'll bring it down. Everything's just around 10, I guess. 8, 9, 10. So we've got good levels over here. Okay, so I'm going to add a delay to my wavetable. I go right click, insert return track, or I can do Option Command T. And I'm going to go over to my effects, my audio effects, and I'm going to go echo. That's what we used before. Just drag that over to the return track and let it go. There's our echo. Now here's our send. Remember our dry wet, we're going to turn up to 100%. Let's try sending the drums there. Cool. Sound the bass there. Sort of cool. And wavetable. Cool. So I'm going to go do my clip view on my wavetable, and we've got a 1-bar loop going right now. Let's change it to a 2-bar loop. Enter. It's twice as big. So there's where the bar 2 begins. So I'm just gonna highlight the whole bar, and I'm gonna go Command D to duplicate it, and then I'm just gonna find another chord to move this to. So I'm gonna keep the notes with the same interval separation. I'm just gonna move it up with my up and down arrow keys until I find something that's cool. I bet that one's gonna work. So 4 up, 2, 3, 4. This is my guess. This will sound good. Let's try it. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, love it. Okay, so I'm gonna make it 4 bars now. So I'm gonna go to length, 4, enter, and I'm gonna grab both those two bars. Oops, make sure I grab all the notes. There we go. So I'm going to go Command D to duplicate. There we go. And I want to make sure that this is 4 bars, not 2. Whoops. There we go. So I'm going to make this one a different chord. So I'm going to highlight all down arrow keys. I don't think that's going to work. Let's see. That's not terrible. Let's just try going lower. Yeah, there we go. A little dark. Let's try it. One more down, one more. One more. One more. Okay. It's either really cool or not really cool. Let's shoot it up an octave to see what it sounds like. Shift and then up arrow. Let's go down one semitone. One more. Oh. Now we're back to where it was. Okay. That's all right. Okay, let's go shift and go down an octave. Yeah, I like that. All right. So we've written a little mini song here. Okay, so let's look what we have. We've got 4 bars of drums. We've got 2 bars of bass. Or is that 1 bar? It's just 1 bar. Okay, let's make... Actually, I'm okay with that. So there's 4 bars of drums, 1 bar of bass, and 4 bars of Wavetable. So let's commit those to audio, because right now they're MIDI, so the MIDI notes are being converted into audio. That's why you see the levels come out here. Shout out levels. And so let's make them audio instead of MIDI. So I'm just going to highlight the clips, and I'm going to right click, which will bring up the context menu, and I'm going to oh, actually, I don't want to do the clips. I'll do the whole track. So I'm going to highlight all 3 tracks, right click, and I'm going to go freeze tracks. So that means I can't really adjust anything on them anymore. They're frozen in place. Whatever they were doing before, they're doing. And now I'm going to do another move. So that's freeze, and then I'm going to right click again. I'm going to go flatten, and then it's going to turn all of our digital information that we were controlling those instruments with and convert it into audio. I know, crazy, right? So flatten. So now our clips appear like audio. There's no more MIDI notes anymore. They've all been converted to audio. So let's just undo those 2 moves again. Command or Control on a PC, Z. There's our frozen tracks, and then Command Z again, and we're back to our MIDI information. Okay, so this is all the stuff we programmed. I'm going to convert this to audio. So I'm going to select all 3 of my tracks, right click, bring up the context menu. I'm going to do 2 moves. First move is freeze, which will freeze the MIDI in place. Next move, right click, I'm going to flatten, which will turn the frozen MIDI into audio. And now these are audio tracks. Cool. Okay, so what does that mean? That just means we can manipulate them in different ways. So I can't go and change the notes now because they're all audio. So watch this move. Tab, there's our arrangement view, right? I'm going to drag our audio clips, all 3 of them, highlight them all. I'm just going to drag them over here to the little logo section. There's the vertical, the horizontal. So we're in the vertical view right now called session view. I'm going to drag it up to the horizontal view. It's called arrangement view. Oops. And then I'm just going to drag my tracks to the beginning of that view and let them go. And you can see I'm letting them go on their original tracks from the other view. See, so the yellow tracks going to the C78 core kit, which is what it is. And I'm just going to let it go. There we go. So now we're in arrangement view. And I'll just click down here to make these tracks a little bigger so we can see what's going on. So I'm going to hit tab. So there's our clips. They're still in the session view. And I hit tab again, and they're there on the arrangement view. So the way Ableton Live works without getting too into it is either this can be the boss or this can be the boss. There are views, but it's a little more complicated than that. It can only do one thing at a time. So if I press play here, like we were doing before, now this is the boss. Hit tab, go back here, and now you can see this section's all grayed out because this is the boss. So if I press play here, if I press play here and I hit tab, it's playing from the other view. You can see there's no audio here. It's not playing this stuff, it's playing this stuff. So if I want arrangement view, hit tab, to be the boss, I've got to click this red button that's called back to arrangement. And nobody told me about that button when I first started using the Ableton Live. I had to figure it out on my own. But it does light up red when you need it, so it kind of gives it away. So if you click that, now this is the boss. So if I play where we are now, it's going to play nothing. If I go back to the beginning by hitting stop, now it's going to play from the beginning of the audio. And you can see my bass line stops playing because it's only a 1-bar loop. Okay, before we get too carried away, let's just do all that again. So I'm just going to get rid of this. We're going to hit tab. We're going to go back here. We've got our audio frozen. Okay. Remember we took our MIDI track. I'll do an example of that again. Oops. Let's go drums. So we take our MIDI track. We enter clip, we put in a bunch of information like this, and then we want to freeze that MIDI information. We go right click, freeze track, right click, flatten track, and now we've got audio. Okay, that's what I did to those 3 tracks here. So now I'm going to grab the audio from those tracks and I'm going to drag them over into the arrangement view, right to the beginning. And now if I go back here, this is the boss. Session view is in control. And if I want arrangement view to be in control, I've got to click the back to arrangement button. And now arrangement is the boss. So this is our loop bar, by the way, up here. This is pretty important, and it'll just highlight the section that we're going to loop, and later on it'll highlight what we're going to export. So I'm just going to, you can turn the loop bar on and off here. See when it's in use, it's orange and light gray here in this view. I'm just going to turn off right now. So again, so let's just loop this section. I'm going to go Command L to loop, and that'll turn it on. And now it's just going to loop this section over. So our bass line quits after 1 bar, and then our other loops keep going. So if I want our bass line to keep going with everything else, I can just drag at the top corner. See, it changes up there. I just drag it over, and I can loop it forever if I want to. Just keep looping that audio, that 1 bar. So I'm going to make it the same length as these. Okay, so now we can start building a track linearly here. So let's see, which of these things do we want to start with? Let's not start with the drums. Let's bring those in later. So I'm just going to drag these over here. Let's bring the bass in later. So I'll just drag it over here for now. Let's just start with the wavetable. Just going to bring out our loop here. Stop. And let's see what this sounds like. Okay, I don't want to wait that long, but let's have the drums come in maybe halfway through there. So like this. Bass can come in here. Okay, I like that. And the keyboard's cut out. I'm just going to keep these drums going. And now the keyboard's going to come in again here. I'm just going to Option click over here and I'll make a copy. Oops, I didn't make a copy. Command Z. If I Option drag, it should make a copy. Here we go. That's what I want to do. So on a PC, that's going to be Alt drag, and it'll make a copy. Okay, so let's hear that from the beginning. Let's move this over here. Let's have this keep going, and then the drums cut out. 2, 3, 4. We'll Option drag and have them kick in again. Oops. Maybe right there would be good. Okay, so let's see. We'll take it from here. So I can just click up here. You can see a little speaker icon appears. That's where it's going to play back from. So I'm just going to click here. 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Okay, cool. So you can see what works with these gaps and these different arrangement things I'm doing is leaving 4 bars or doing it in lengths of 4 bars works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Now something changes after that 4 bars. So let's do it from the beginning. guitar, so let's have the bass drop out there. So I'm just going to click and drag over that section that I want to come out, and I'm just going to hit the 0 key, and it's going to clear that, deactivate it. I could also just delete it if I want. It's maybe easier. All right, so there's our little arrangement that comes in there, and let's just have it stop with everything in. Where should it stop? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Should just play once. Actually, let's play once and have that end with the wavetable. There you go. So there's our song. So I'm going to highlight the beginning and the end of it. Those are the tracks that start and end it. Then I'm going to hit Command L, and you'll watch our loop brace up here extend to the exact length of that. And now when I export this, when I export our song, it'll start here and end there. And we can upload it to SoundCloud or do whatever we want. So right now our song is 1 minute long, just a little bit over. Okay, so if I want to export this, I'm going to go up here and go export audio video. You can also do Shift Command R. So Shift Command R will bring up this export window. Render track is going to go through the master. So that's our, let me just show you that. That's our master fader down here, which is, if I hit tab, remember this is the master, that's where all the audio flows through. So that's what our level is going to be like. So what that's saying, Shift Command R, is that it's going to render through the master fader, and our length is going to be 32 bars, which is what that is. You can see up there. And it's going to start at bar 1, beat 1, 16th note 1. And sample rate, you want to be 44.1 or 48, probably 44.1 actually. Don't worry about that. And it can be a WAV file or an AIF file, doesn't matter. 16-bit, not going to get into all this technical stuff. So make sure it's 44.1 WAV, 16-bit is the easiest. Okay, and then we're just going to export it. It's going to ask us what we want to call it. So let's call it Fire Track 2021 because clearly it is. And I'm going to save it to my desktop. You can save it wherever you want. Just hit save, and now it's rendering. And we are done. So if I go to my desktop now, you can see there's Fire Track. You don't need that. This is the one you need. And now if you click it, there's our song. Right? Not amazing, but it serves its purpose. Okay, let's, I hate to tell you this, but we're going to do all this again. Okay, so I'm just going to highlight this, delete. We're going to hit tab. We're going to go back. Let's do everything again. No! Command T, Shift Command T, is that what I did? Yeah. Go back to one default random nothing MIDI track, no echo, and a master. Okay, so we know where this begins. It begins with the drums. Drums. Make sure your blue headphones on. Let's go down here. We haven't tried any of these. Yeah, there it is. Heritage kit. All right. Drag that over. Shift tab to show the clip view. Device view, clip view, device view, clip view. We're going to double click to create a clip. We're going to bring this up so you can see what we're doing. We're going to make sure our blue headphones on. We might as well turn our volume down too. You know how that rolls. Okay. Kick on the 1, bar 1, beat 1. Go to bar 1, beat 3. Add in our second kick. Get the clip rolling. We don't need this. That's our count in. I changed it to none, so it just plays faster now. Okay, I'm going to add some clap. Let's add some snare vinyl on the second one too. Let's put our hi-hats on the 3. That clap's pretty loud, so I'm going to click it, bring down the velocity. All right, let's make it longer. Let's go to length, click. Let's see what I'm doing there. Length, click, 2, enter. Now our loop is 2 bars long, but our second bar is blank. Highlight, Command D. Let's put in a second kick here. Let's change this to an open hat. I'll use my up and down arrow keys. So we're going to go up to hi-hat Funky Moon open. So that's up like 4. Bring the velocity down. Cool. Let's add a bass line. So I'm going to go to Instruments, Operator. Oh yeah, FM deep bass. Drag that over. Okay, and we'll just show the device. There's what the operator looks like. Double click, clips, scroll down a bit, turn down our volume. You know how that goes. Ooh, that's nice. I was going to play something lower, but let's see what that sounds like. Try that. Yeah. Let's bring it all down an octave. So Command A to select all, or Control on a PC controller. And then I'll hit my Shift and down arrow key. So Shift brings everything up or down an octave with the up and down arrow keys. Well, that's cool. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I'm going to make my loop a little longer. So length 2, enter. Okay. Make sure it's that whole length. Command D. Oh, it's in a different place than it was before. Okay, right. I think, oh, I'm going to select everything. And I think it goes like this, I'm guessing. There we go. Yeah. So you'll notice that this time it happens on beat 2, and the second notes happen, what is this, a 16th note earlier, and it gives it kind of a cool feel. So if this was quote-unquote proper, you'd move this over like that, and that over like that. So here's sort of a more normal version. It's cool, but I'm just going to highlight all those notes and bring them 1/16th note earlier, which gives it, yeah. Yeah. Can't stop saying yeah. Okay, cool. That's our bass line. Do I want to change up anything here? Not really. I don't know why I duplicated it then. Let's change something. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so let's go Wavetable now. So instruments, Wavetable, just stock. What was our main notes in that? C1 and A0. So on the wavetable, we'll try C. Oh, volume. Yeah, that's nice. So I'm going to start with it on the 1. A was the other note. I don't know if that's going to work. Let's try that. Sounds like our... Oh, I changed this to a wavetable somehow. So let's go back to instruments, operator. What was the FM? Just going to drag that over, back over here. Yeah. Okay. Back in business. Shift tab. That might sound good. There we go. I'm going to highlight all these and drag the notes out to be 1 beat instead of 1/16th note. Gonna make our loop a little longer. 2 enter. Oops. 2 enter. There we go. Hey, what did I do? 2 enter. There we go. Highlight. 1 full bar. So watch, we can use these same notes and just use a different octave variation of that note. So I'm just gonna octave shift up arrow this C3 to be C4, or should I do C2? Let's try C2. So I'm gonna go down an octave. Let's try that. Now I'm gonna try it back up. I'm gonna go up an octave, so from C3 to C4. I mean, it's dumb, but it's good enough for our purposes, right? Let's go back to the wavetable. I'm going to go Shift Tab. There's a wavetable. Let's make it a little brighter. Turn our frequency down. Let's add a delay, so we can either do right-click, insert return track, or Option Command T. On a PC, that would be Alt Control T. All right, and we're gonna go to audio effects, echo. Should we do something new? Let's do something new. Let's go to a delay, and here's let's go vintage delay. Just stock vintage delay. See what that sounds like. Oops. What? Why? There you go. Oh, I did it twice. I don't know what happened there. Okay, so now our send is happening. Let's go 100% wet. Filter it so it's only top end that's delaying, or only low end, or only mid-range. sounds cool. Just leave it on ping pong. I'm going to bring the feedback down a bit though. It's a bit crazy. Love it. Okay, so now we are going to freeze all of our MIDI information. There's our drums, our bass, and our wavetable. We're going to freeze that information. So I'm going to highlight all 3 tracks. So I just did shift click. So first we're going to freeze it. That will make it so that we can't change any of that MIDI information. It's locked in. And then we're going to right click again and we're going to flatten those tracks. And that's going to turn that frozen MIDI information into audio. Cool. Oh, I didn't do it on those tracks. There we go. So now it's all audio information, no more MIDI. Okay, so now I can just play those. So it sounds the same, it's just audio now, it's not MIDI. And I'm going to take all 3 of those clips, I'm going to drag them over into the horizontal arrangement view as opposed to the vertical session view that we're in. So it's going to go to the horizontal arrange view. I'm going to drag it to the beginning of those tracks. And it's all grayed out, which means session view is the boss. So I'm going to make arrangement view the boss by hitting the red button called back to arrangement. You can see there's a little info view here that tells you everything. Okay, now I'm going to, if you're not used to zooming in here, you can use 2 keys on the keypad, or you can just click and drag up here to zoom. There's a few ways to do it. If you're used to a different digital audio workstation, or you've never used a digital audio workstation like Ableton Live, it might be kind of strange zooming for the first little bit, but you'll get used to it. It's after a while it becomes amazing and simple. Okay, so here's our little song section. So I'm going to go Command L to bring up the loop brace. You see it turns on here, and this will just loop our section here. I think it's what, 2 bars? 2, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. So our 4-bar loop. All our audio is 4-bar loops. Let's start with the bass line this time. Hit stop to go to the beginning. Nope, let's not start with the bass line. Let's start with the chords. It's the most obvious thing. What did I do there? You can see it's still going to that delay. Okay, and then we'll bring in the beat after. We'll bring the beat in, I guess right there, that was right. And bring that in later. This will keep going. Stop, take off, I'll just take off the loop, and you can hit Command L, either way. So let's see how this starts. So there, I think the chord should drop out and the bass and drum should keep going. So instead of hitting stop and playing back from the beginning, let's just start it right before that transition. So let's just go here. You can click and you can see the speaker icon appears. Actually, on that last one, there's going to be no bass. and then it's going to reappear. So I'm just going to option drag it over after 2-bar disappearance, and then I'm just going to option drag this over, or alt on a PC, and that makes a copy of this audio. Maybe like this. Let's see what that sounds like. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. And then whatever happens, don't really care. And somehow it ends. It all comes crashing down at bar 25. So there's our song. It's the best thing I've ever heard in my life. So I'm going to go click. There's our beginning. And click the last thing in the song. So shift click. That's the last thing in the song. Now I'm going to go Command L. And that will identify the length of the song, which in this case is 24 bars. And approximately 48 seconds or something. Okay, so I'm going to export that. So I can either go up here and go export audio video, or I can go Shift Command R, and that's going to render my audio through my master fader from bar 1, beat 1, 16th note 1 to essentially bar 25, beat 1, 16th note 1, but not including that. So it's going to be a total of 24 bars. That's our song. Best settings are 44.1 sample rate, wave, and 16-bit. Don't worry about it. We'll get into that later. Export, and we're going to call this Fire Track 2. Desktop, save, renders it out. And now we can go and listen to it. There's Fire Track 1, there's Fire Track 2. Oh yeah. What an amazing song we wrote. Okay, and remember old Fire Track 1? Remember that heater from half an hour ago? Ugh. What were we thinking? We were so young and innocent back then. Remember those days? Oh yeah. That's not terrible. Yeah, it's bad. It's pretty bad. Okay, so there's Fire Track 1 and Fire Track 2. I hope that helped you. I'm gonna put out a bunch of these, I think, just to get you doing stuff in Ableton without really worrying what it is that you're doing. And then I'll do more traditional, like, introduction to Ableton videos to let you know what these things are called and what you're actually doing. All right, so like, subscribe, hit the bell, you know the drill. Follow me on Instagram at LevelsMusicPro. All right, I'll see you next time. Peace.